Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Recording this video for the third time after I messed up a 15-minute video that I recorded. Anyways, so we traded in this range today, right? This yellow. So we had two scenarios: we break out of the yellow up here, or we break down, and we broke down. So we also had to notice the white algo, right, which I've been showing in my charts for a while now. So we found the microstructure right here, which gave us a break all the way down. Also influenced by news as well, which gave us this move right here. But we completed this inverse cup now, and we're waiting for the handle. And now let me show you the intraday after I give you the 30-minute context. Okay, so intraday is pretty simple today, and I'm gonna show you what a A plus setup is compared to not a A plus setup, if that makes sense. So the key algos we have to notice today is the teal, yellow, and that's pretty much it. And then the red, the pink, and the purple, but they weren't very effective today, so I'm gonna show you what has been going on. So we notice this yellow right here, then we notice the teal as well, and we found this yellow right here as well. Right, so we could have taken this trade right here. However, you notice the tapering pink, right? So, and then the purple, right? Controlled selling purple. So taking a trade right there would be a pretty bad risk to reward, if that makes sense. And we needed to grab more liquidity, which is what happened right here. So here you notice this tapering is right here, purple is right here, so there is very good risk to reward right here, right? And then this was a 4-figure trade, and this is why it's an A plus setup, right? Because of that and how we built that liquidity, right? And we didn't have much of a resistance anywhere, so pretty much and this gave us also a lot of entries as well. You could have entered at the up top, right, or at the break, right? And we were given a 1-minute a candle to enter as well, so the market was pretty kind, right? And we complete this inverse, right? Then we wait for the handle, right, this yellow. And you could have also taken a scalp right here at the break of purple right here, or the break of pink right here. So there was many opportunities to take that scalp. Then we noticed that yellow, right, wait for structure, which gave us right here, right? And again, this might be a tricky trade because this is not an A plus trade. This setup is not an A plus because guess what, you have the red as support and the pink as support as well. So I wouldn't really load contract sizes here, right? I'd wait for that next trade, which would be around right here. I'm gonna take this off so it's much easier to see. So you could enter right here, and this is where I would actually load because grab that liquidity right here, perfect entry right here. And then the news was right here, right? So I'd hold. I'd also notice my purple algo right here, and see if it does reclaim, because if it did reclaim, then we'd be bullish, right? So for example, right, it would have been like this, and then this possibly, right? And then we'd go up to pink right here, right? But that wasn't the case. We actually rejected purple right here, right? So that was a bearish indicator, and for us to stay in the trend, as well as the 5-day, right? We had to make sure that the price was under 5-day, and we used the 5-day as a resistance. And I believe 5-day was around here, so it was resistance before it fixated itself right here. So we just had to make sure the 5-day was the resistance, and that gave us the move down all the way right here, right? And closing the inverse cup on that 30-minute, which I just showed you right here, right? So right here. But yeah, pretty solid day, and I'm not gonna I called it quits right here, okay, like around here. But then I've been filming the same video because my microphone didn't wasn't plugged in right, so it didn't record any audio. Typical me, okay, typical Indian behavior. But yeah, so now we wait for that possible handle right here, right? However, if we are reclaiming back up, right? We're gonna grab liquidity right here, and right here, okay? Um, and we can also possibly take this trade at the break of this, right? To take it up to pink. I'm gonna draw that better for you guys, right? And then right there, and then you can take it right there. So also, I just want to also say that um, typically in the FOMC minutes, right, the news that came out today that gave us that big move down, right? Typically, your high inflation has an inverse effect on stock market, right? And you can see that historically in the 1960s and 1980s, right? You can see that. However, in the inverse sense, I mean like it should, if the inflation is bad, right? Sorry, if yeah, if the inflation is bad, it's not really inverse. Okay, I'm messing my words, but it's not really an inverse relationship because wait, it is. The higher the inflation, right, the worse the stock market does, right? And you can see that in the um, historical data. Like you can literally just search on Google, say um, historical averages for S&P 500, right? And it'll tell you like during the peak inflation times during that period, like the stock market dropped 50%. However, right now it's doing the opposite, right? We have high inflation and we also have a higher high stock market, right? So the stock market is doing the opposite of what it historically has done. So this can be an indication of an artificial bull run, um, and it can also mean a lot of people may get trapped, right? A lot of people may get trapped at the highs right here, and their portfolio can drop down to as much as 50% or more, you know? Um, because on the way up, right, we just kept heading up, right? So once we break this liquidity point, once we break this, we're just gonna free fall, right? Um, so it is it is important to know what's going on, like intraday and day trading in general, so you can understand the context uh, and the stock market history, right? Because it is a pretty like I can't predict markets. You can't predict. I don't care if it's an artificial bull run. I don't care if the market's going down. I don't care if it's more. I make money both ways, right? However, for the people that are in the 401ks, the RO1Is, or whatever's, right? They have it different. They are invested long term, and they can't really um, cash out on their money till they're like dead, basically dead at 60 years old. Okay, so I never saw the point of IRAs because you don't have access to that money till you're dead. Like 60, bro. Like I don't want to live till 60. Like I want to pass over like at 50, bro. After I live life at 40, like bro, I don't want to be 60 and a grown like old dude, like being stuck on meds all day. Like you know what I'm saying? Having to get like 20 surgeries a week. Like no, bro. Like just euthanize or like something, bro. Like I'm not living that long, bro. Um, but yeah, so that's why I say like people that are stuck here, that will get like people might be happy right now, right? They'll be like, oh my um, IRAs are up like freaking I don't 418 to it's a lot. Like that's a 20% gainer, right? Or 20 to 30%, right? So they might be so excited, right? My portfolio is up 20 to 30%. However, you really have to be careful because they are still investing up here, right? They're still investing up here. So when you get caught, right, you're gonna get caught hard. Then when you drop down here, guess what? You're literally caught holding the bag, if that makes sense. And it'll be another 10 years before we even get back to these highs again, right? Um, so you have to be careful. You have to understand the market. You really have to understand the historical as well. We've never, during periods of high inflation, we've never had a rally like this, right? Um, but yeah, so just be careful, and that's why I love day trading because you're not stuck to the market's will. Um, you're not basically trapped by the market, right? You have an you understand the market context, you understand what's happening. uh, yeah, so that's what I wanted to say, and wait for further structure. That's why I'm calling it a day today. But yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow, if we do form that handle or we just shoot back up again. Who knows? I don't care. And I'm not saying the markets are gonna head down tomorrow, right? I'm not saying any of that. Like, the markets will head down. It's not about matter of if but when, you know. So we don't predict here. Like, we just go with the market, right? So if it does drop, it drops. If it goes up, it goes up. That just means it's gonna have a harder drop, right? The bigger they are, the harder the bigger the rally is, the harder it'll fall. If that makes sense. I should trademark that. I should. Uh, but yeah, guys, just be careful. Don't trading highs like this. Just wait for bigger structure. Um, Wait for confirmations. Wait for indicators to catch up. Like the 5-day did catch up, right? We are trading with the 5-day, which is pretty nice. So we have that support or resistance. So let's see what the 5-day turns out tomorrow. If it is resistance, chances are we do head down um, to close the bigger cup at 525, right? And then possibly grabbing that handle and then closing the gap at 520, like 523 area, right? Um, so that's a good trade to look forward if it does. I doubt it might happen because 2 days after in the week, Friday, if there's no continuation structure, so it might not happen. Who knows if it does set up tomorrow, right? If we do have that handle tomorrow, then yes, we might get this in this week. But if we don't get that handle tomorrow, then probably not. But yeah, alright guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day, guys.